Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to take another quick look at Star Trek Attack Wing. Today we'll be featuring the Jem'Hadar Battleship expansion, or the 4th Division Battleship as it's called. For those of you not familiar with the Jem'Hadar, that's okay, not everyone has watched Deep Space Nine, but they were, for the most part, the primary antagonist during most of the show. They teamed up with the Changelings and a few other races that I don't want to spoil, but they just basically wreaked havoc on the Alpha Quadrant. So with that said, let's take a brief look at what this particular expansion has to offer. Okay, and here's a brief snapshot of what you get. Just keep in mind that I did not include the smaller tokens in this shot. Again, if you're familiar with my Star Trek Attack Wing series and X-Wing series, you'll know that I usually leave those tokens out of these videos just because they tend to get redundant after a while. Just keep in mind that the tokens that come with this expansion are usually reflective of the ship class in question. So let's go ahead and take a look at the model real quick. For those of you that have watched Deep Space Nine and are familiar with the Jem'Hadar, I think you'll appreciate the detail here. They even got the color right. The expansions that I've gotten for Star Trek Attack Wing have been either hit or miss at this point, but I am very happy to say that this particular miniature, very well done and very detailed, as you can see. Before moving on to the maneuver dial, I figured I'd just quickly show you the base here, the cover for the base. It's two-sided and it has a forward firing arc. Now, I've had issues with the dials in the past, so I'm just going to go ahead and just read off the reference card that comes with these. And I do appreciate the fact that they have reference cards that actually show these off. X-Wing usually doesn't include something like this. Only in the large ships or the large expansions do you see any sort of maneuver guide on the back of the manual. But here's a separate card for it, which is pretty cool. Anyway, as you can see here, on 1 it can make a slight left or slight right. It's a white maneuver. Straight, it can make a green maneuver at 1. At 2, same thing. At 3, it can make a hard left or a hard right, but that is a red maneuver. And like the 2 and 1, it can make slight rights or slight lefts at 3 using white maneuvers. And there's a green maneuver here for going straight. The 4, same thing as the 1 and 2, except going straight is only a white maneuver. And finally, it can go straight at 5. That's a white maneuver. Now, like with the Star Trek Attack Wing expansions that I've seen, it comes with its own scenario that you can play out. And I'm not exactly sure about this, but it reminds me of an episode called Valiant, where Red Squad ended up being a bunch of cadets. For those of you not familiar with Deep Space Nine at all, but there was a group of Academy pilots that were supposed to be the best of the best. They were called Red Squad. And they somehow got control of a Federation starship during the war. And we're going to go after this Dominion battleship to try and blow it up. And the Valiant is a Defiant class ship, sort of like what the same class of ship that Cisco ended up being the captain of later down the line. But anyway, in this particular scenario, it's a 2-player game, and it's 1 Federation ship and 1 Dominion ship. And just to sum this up, the Federation player has to scan the Dominion ship 3 times to get 3 mission tokens, and then either escape or blow up the Dominion ship. And all the while, the Dominion ship is going to be trying to blow up the Federation player. As far as the ship cards are concerned, you've got the 4th Division Battleship. That's the elite of the 2. You've got 6 attack, 0 agility. So basically it's a behemoth, but it can't move very well or dodge. You've got a hull of 7 and shields of 5. Again, very powerful here. As you can see, a slew of upgrades down here, although it has a point cost of 36, which is pretty hefty. After factoring in, the captains and the upgrade cards and all of that, this will end up probably being a 1-ship fleet, depending on how many points you use. The special ability, each round, 1 other friendly Jem'Hadar ship within range 1 to 2 of your ship may perform an action on their action bar as a free action. Pretty good. So if you do play with a high point cost, very good to use in teams. You've got the target lock, the scan, and the battle stations action here. And further in, we have another Dominion starship. This is sort of the weaker of the 2. For the most part, it looks like the same stats, except it's 1 less shield. has less upgrades, same actions, and has a point cost of 34. As far as your captains are concerned, you have Wei-Un. Again, he was one of the primary antagonists of this series for the most part. He adds up to 2 additional elite, no, that's not elite, but it looks like these chevron upgrade slots, I don't know what they're called off the top of my head, to your ship's upgrade bar. The cost of these upgrades is -1 SP or squad point if they are Dominion upgrades. So that's pretty cool. It basically reduces the cost. It adds more upgrade slots and reduces their cost. That has a cost down here of 5, and you can add an elite upgrade to your ship if you have this captain. Gelnon, I think that's how you pronounce that. I've seen him once or twice in an episode or two. But basically his action or special ability as an action, target an enemy ship in your forward firing arc within range 1 and immediately roll 2 attack dice. The target ship does not roll any defense dice against this attack and sustains damage as normal for each hit or critical hit result. If you roll at least 1 battle station result, place a battle station token beside your ship. So definitely geared toward ships that like to attack, and the Jem'Hadar Battleship is definitely suited for that. That has a cost of 3, that has a captain skill of 5, and Wei-Un I think was, what, 7? Yeah. Further in, we just have this standard Dominion captain, no special ability, captain skill of 1, 0 point cost. On to the upgrades. We've got photon torpedoes, 5 attack dice, range 2 to 3. Attack target lock. Spend your target lock and disable this card to perform this attack. If fired from a Jem'Hadar battleship, add 2 attack dice. Pretty powerful. You may fire this weapon from your forward or rear firing arcs. It has a cost of 6. Ketracel White. It's basically the drug that the Jem'Hadar were addicted to. That's how the Vorta kept them in line. But go watch the show if you haven't already. It'll make sense. Action. Discard this card to remove all disable upgrade tokens from all of your Dominion chevron upgrades. That's pretty good. As an action, no less. That has a cost of 2. Phased Polaron Beam, 4 attack dice, range 1, so it's a close range weapon. And as an attack, disable this card to perform this attack. All damage inflicted by this attack ignores the opposing ship's shields. Wow. This upgrade costs +5 squadron points for any non-Jem'Hadar ship. So basically you're going to want to put this on your Jem'Hadar ship, especially for ships that, especially if the ship is attacking or going up against someone that uses a lot of shields. I'm gonna butcher this. Kud de Katan, whatever. Mr. K here. As an action, target a ship at range 1. Discard this card and disable 1 of your other upgrades to disable all chevron upgrades on the target ship, even if that ship is cloaked or has active shields. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Jem'Hadar ship. For cost, I've seen the Klingons and Romulans have similar cards to this, so nothing new there. Oh, another one. Mr. Ikat, this is worse than the Klingons. I'm just going to call him Mr. I. Mr. I here. When defending, you may discard this card to force one ship that attacks you this round to re-roll any number of their attack dice of your choice, once per die. This upgrade costs +5 squadron points for any non-Jem'Hadar ship. Again, definitely geared toward Jem'Hadar, obviously. Cost of 5. Shroud. The Jem'Hadar were also great at personal cloaking. Like, they could cloak their soldiers, which is pretty good and useful. If one of your Dominion Chevron upgrades is supposed to be discarded, discard this card instead. It has a cost of 1. Oh my gosh. Okay, Ixtana Rax. Mr. I-2. Okay. Action. Disable this card to flip over all critical damage cards assigned to your ship. Pretty good. I guess you could use him as sort of like an engineer. Cost of 2. Photon torpedoes. Did I get... Yeah. So we've... that's all of the upgrade cards that come with this particular expansion. So far, I mean, this is, a lot of the cards look similar to other cards that I've seen, except for this phased polaron beam. I don't think I've seen anything like that before. Definitely geared toward attack, but as you can see, some utility in these cards as well. And there you have it, a very brief look at the Jem'Hadar Battleship expansion, or the 4th Division Battleship expansion as it's called. I didn't cover everything, but hopefully this gives you a nice overview in case you're interested in picking this up. You can check out my review of the base game at www.dadsgamingaddiction.com, or you can click on the links in the below description that'll take you there as well. This is Vince, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.